Well, welcome to my studio today. Good to have you back. And I am working on a painting of cardinals in the snow on a fir tree. And this is a 6 by 6 inch cradled panel. And it's made by Ampersand. I really enjoy painting on these. They're a nice surface. The panels are primed, but I also add an extra coat of priming with Liquitex Basics white acrylic, and so that just makes the surface a little bit slicker. I just prefer it that way. Some of you don't. It's all just preference, individual preference. But I have sketched my cardinals and the needles of the tree in washes of, this is alizarin crimson, or not alizarin crimson, viridian green, plus a little bit of my mud, which is 2 parts of ultramarine blue and 1 part of alizarin crimson, plus liquid original. The cardinal is alizarin crimson plus liquid, and then this is some of my mud, that dark purple. The female is washed in with that mud plus liquid wash, and then a little bit of the alizarin crimson wash for her little crown there. But anyway, so now I'm starting to paint with my opaque oils, and this is a mixture of ultramarine blue plus white, and then I've got a mixture of my mud plus white, and that just gives me my shadows for the snow. In fact, I'm going to even use a laser brush here. Get that snow blocked in. And I have painted the sides of this cradled panel with black acrylic, and then I tape off the edges so that when I'm done I can just pull that tape off and the sides are nice and clean. That snow's kind of fluffy and mounded and whatever, so there's shadows and also then whites where the sun's hitting it. This is going to be in shadow here from the needles. I just kind of roughly smush some color around, as Jack would say. Real technical term, but that's just getting lots of color up there, and then I'll come back in and work my edges and stuff. Now I have already, like I say, I washed my cardinal in with that liquid wash, the oil wash, and now it's dried overnight, so I can come back where I've painted over that, and I can just come back and lift up that color, kind of erase it. I just wanted to show you how I kind of block this snow in around the needles of the tree, and the light will really be hitting right here, right where the cardinals are, because I want to accentuate them. Let's bring that white around. And it picks up some of my shadow color. When I'm done, I'll come back and even accent this white even more, but right now I'm just getting this color in. Now I want, as I get toward the edge here, then I want this to get in shadow, that to feel like that turns down. So I want my brightest whites right around the focal point of the birds. I also do a blog on my paintings and with the complete step-by-step process. I know I show some of it in my videos here, but the complete process is on my blog, and the link is in the description below. So you can go to my blog, you can sign up, you can subscribe to it, and you'll get an email every time that I make a new post. But that's where I show what I'm painting from day to day and my complete step-by-step process. So here I'm bringing in this white behind Mr. Chipper's head here. Cardinals make kind of a chip, chip, chip sound, and so we just, Jack and I always would call them, here's Mr. and Miss Chippers. And I'm going to make sure there's green around his head. Green is the complementary color of red, and by placing complements next to each other, the colors appear much more vibrant. So that's why I like to get some of that nice green around him. And then we'll have, this will be in shadow back here behind her. Now my needles, this is a mixture of the Viridian Green plus Phthalo Blue plus a little bit of cadmium orange. And those just break out in the snow. That snow kind of just dives in between those. Now the needles, the sun's coming in from the right side. So these needles cast shadows over the snow. So this is some of my ultramarine blue plus white. And I just let them, like the light's coming in this way. So they cast shadows on the snow. There's one there. Get some darks in there where maybe the snow hasn't totally covered, and so you get back in and you see some of the depth of underneath in the tree. And then a few more needles here. Just kind of let the brush, let's say I kind of smooshed that color around, and now I'm coming back in and working and finishing out the details. Got some dark in behind her. She's going to have, her belly is sort of a nice light tannish, so that dark will play up her tummy there. This snow comes in here. That's how I paint the needles and the snow. And again, I want to have enough green to really highlight the reds on the birds. You can also subscribe to my YouTube videos, and you'll also receive a notification when I make a new video. This is how I block in that snow. I still have a little more detail to do, but I'll show you a completed picture. But it's fun painting the snow. I'd rather paint it than be in it. I know a lot of you, I have a lot of collectors who live up north and just absolutely love it, but I'm a southern girl. I really like, I prefer sand in the ocean to snow, but I like painting it. And we'll get some finer needles here. So I hope you will subscribe to my blog and my YouTube videos. You have a wonderful, wonderful day. Please feel free to ask questions. You can ask them in the comments section. And you just have a great day. To remember, today is a great, great day to just have a great day. So, happy painting, and God bless you. Now I'm working on Mr. Chipper's, our cardinal. And these are mixtures of, I'm using cadmium red deep plus magenta for the darkest red here. And then this is also that same mixture, but not as much of the magenta in it. And again, I previously washed him in with mixtures of alizarin crimson plus liquid original. Now, this is pure cadmium red, deep. Again, that's just a lighter, that's just a nice pure red. Just a little bit smaller brush here. Just his tummy here. With all these muted greens around, he just really pops out. Cardinals are so pretty in the snow. I think I'd mentioned in the earlier video, I'm not a snow person, but I love painting it. And the few times that we've had snow here, boy, when the Cardinals come, it just makes your heart sing. They're just so pretty. Now this is cadmium red light that I'm highlighting his chest and tummy here. Now I'm going back to my darker red mixture. And this is called a bright brush. It's got a square tip, and I really prefer to use these. Brushes are a very individual thing. Some people like flats, some people like rounds, but I really prefer to use the bright brushes. I just really like that I can turn it sideways to make a fine stroke, or I can turn it to the flat edge and make a broad stroke. Now I'm using a little bit of my mud, which is 2 parts of ultramarine blue and 1 part of alizarin crimson, just to make that dark on his tail feathers. On the edge, they usually have a little brighter feather. Comes down here. Again, I can just use, I'm going to pull it from below and get that tip on that feather. Now I'm going to use that same darker mixture for his wings. Now I brought a little light in behind him because that helps to give depth to the painting. So I brought that light in behind our cardinal here. Just bringing some dark into those wing feathers. And then the tips of these, the wings, I'm going to use just ivory black for. And again, I just can pull that from the bottom and get that nice tip on his wing feathers. Now this is my cadmium red deep. Now I'll start on his little top knot here. I'm going to use my cadmium red light for that. And then the cadmium red deep, where it goes back, it's a little more in shadow. Cardinals are one of my absolute all-time favorite birds. I have a bird feeder outside of my kitchen window, and oh gosh, I can be there working in the kitchen and see the birds coming in to eat, and it's just a delight. Now I'm using the ivory black for his mask. A little bit of dark around his eye. I'm just going to go ahead and paint his eye in dark. bit of that cadmium red light there where the sun hits the side of his face. Pin feathers here. Now I'm going to do his eye. And first of all, I'm going to do the catch light. The light's coming in from the upper right, so the catch light will go right about 2 o'clock. Between 1 and 2 o'clock. I made it a little bit big, so I'm just going to come here and make that a little bit smaller. And then the iris of his eye gets a little bit of light on the opposite side. I'm going to rest right on the female. Put my finger there because there's no wet paint there. And that just gives him a real, Jack taught me to paint eyes this way, and it just helps to give him some soul to his eyes. Eyes are the painting, are the depth, are the, start over again. Eyes are the soul of the painting. So if you can make the eyes look real, that's the heart of a portrait, of any kind of a painting, of anything that has eyes. So, and then the light's coming this way, and so there's a little bit lighter right in the middle of that brown. And then we'll do his beak. And this is a mixture of cadmium orange plus alizarin crimson. And then I'm going to highlight that. With a mix of my, well, I'm going to try anyway, a mix of my cadmium orange plus white. I'm having a hard time getting that one. But this is basically how I paint the cardinal. I will come back, I've got to do a little bit more detail and stuff, just real close-up work, but this kind of shows you how we paint Mr. Chippers. And I really appreciate you watching my YouTube videos. Please subscribe and come subscribe to my blog also. The link is in the description below. So you have a wonderful, wonderful day. Thank you again, and happy painting.